Hello, guys, and welcome to The Perspective. Today being another episode, we are going to talk about self-esteem. And I have an amazing gentleman here who is going to talk about building on self-esteem, because I know that this is a very pessimistic issue out there, and we are going to talk about it today. So welcome, and thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your views. Keep watching and keep learning. Welcome. So kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you, Karen. I'm Cedric, a student at KEMU, currently serving as the peer counseling vice chairperson, and I'm humbled to be invited to this session, The Perspective, and I believe that after this discussion we'll all have learned and we'll all have helped each other grow both spiritually and emotionally.
Thank you so much, Cedric, and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about self-esteem generally and how we can help others that are out there and facing low self-esteem to build on their own self-esteem.
Yeah.
Actually, personally, I believe self-esteem is like self-confidence, the way you value yourself and how you carry yourself outside there, or also when you're alone, right?
Sure.
So from your own understanding, how can you describe self-esteem according to you?
Actually, you've already described it, you've already defined it. Self-esteem is, you can say it's your self-worth, how you value yourself and based on your own opinion. You get? First in the definition you should key in that based how you value yourself, how the place you like your how you value yourself based on your own opinion, not based on any other person's opinion. That's your self-esteem.
So self-esteem is how I base myself.
How you value yourself based on your own opinion.
Based on my own opinion.
Yes, not.
It doesn't have to do with what other people think.
Yeah, that's where people confuse. People really
they build their self-esteem on what others.
They determine their self-esteem based on what other people say about them. But self-esteem begins with you. You know, when you want, it's like. When you want to boost your confidence, it's the same as confidence, self-confidence. Because if you don't have confidence in yourself, you don't expect the world to have confidence in you. So it's just how you value yourself, what based on your own opinion. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And from your own view, how should a person's self-esteem be? Should it be low, or should it be high, or should it be moderate? How can you explain it according to you? Where should it be?
Okay. Self-esteem. First, we have three categories of self-esteem. We have high self-esteem. We have over high self-esteem. Then we have low self-esteem. Then we have healthy self-esteem. So, of these three, I will recommend you to embrace the healthy self-esteem. Because when you have an over high, it's called over high self-esteem. So it's high but over high. You'll find yourself doing things based on you alone. You know, you'll find yourself being maybe overly arrogant, or maybe seeing yourself as, I'm the say-how of this room. Yeah, I'm the one who determines what happens, either my way or the highway. Yeah, so there are those people who really have an over high self-esteem. There are those who have low self-esteem. Now low self-esteem is now the one that people don't recommend so much. And it's when you can't even speak to 10 people. Because when you want to go, like, maybe I tell you, you have a presentation to make in the evening. You come, you're like, wait, what did the crowd say about me? Am I fit enough to talk to these people? You don't really believe in yourself. That's when the low self-esteem comes in. Then there's healthy self-esteem. You're not too high, you're not too low. Like, you're just there. You just understand yourself. Self-esteem is good. Self-esteem is gained by self-understanding. You understand yourself. You know yourself. You value yourself to what you are, not what people say. You get? Yeah. That's you're just cool when you say it.
You're just cool.
You're just cool.
Wow. And I have seen you holding different roles
Yeah.
in the university and doing and participating in different activities, both curricular, co-curricular activities in different places. So as an individual, I believe that, first of all, where does your self-esteem lie from the explanation that you have given us?
Wow, wow, that's a good one. I can say a healthy self-esteem.
A healthy
Because
self-esteem.
because I'm not those people. You know, when you have an overhigh, this guy has an ego, and you know when you're egoistic, sometimes you're not relate with people very well. Yeah, because sometimes you just find yourself. I have a healthy self-esteem because when I'm called upon to maybe talk to people, maybe do some stuff or take those leadership roles, it's all about believing in oneself. First of all, how I achieve these things is that I don't really base my self-esteem or place my self-esteem based on what people say. I base it on what I know I am, because before somebody else really understands you, you're
You need to understand yourself.
no, you're the one who you actually understands yourself.
Yeah.
You don't need to, you actually understand yourself. Unajua, if it's hot, I have to put on a sweater. If this person says this to me, I'll get offended. You know it.
Yeah.
I won't say that ukimfanyianga hivi atakuwa offended. No, it's me who understands myself first, so I can say healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the statistics, let me use statistics. The self-esteem of an individual, where exactly in their life, like what do you call it, in their life journey, when do they realize that my self-esteem is low, my self-esteem is high? Because I believe when there are some people right now who cannot stand in front of people, and they are very old, and they are, let me not use old because so like wako na umri, and they feel like I cannot stand in front of people, or how will people perceive me right now, and they are of age, right?
Yeah.
And we see that there are other people that are very young, but they can stand in front of a very big crowd and speak and express themselves emotionally and all around. And according to you, and you're going to give us a bit of your life experience, when did you realize that I am capable of standing in front of people, I am capable of going around and contesting for different kind of seats, and I am capable to lead people? Because there is somebody out there that wanakuangalia hivi wanasema, I would like to have the confidence that Cedric has, because the way he takes things, the way he does his own stuff, he's very confident and he does it so nicely. So when did you realize that I myself as Cedric, I am able to stand in front of people without fear? At what age? Because I believe at puberty, this is where people start losing themselves. Sababu mtu akiwa mdogo haoni mambo mengi sana, lakini pale anapofika kwa the puberty, their journey starts deteriorating on how they appear, how their family is. You get, they start understanding life much deeper. So according to you, how did you realize that I am a person with moderate or a healthy self-esteem, and how can you explain it to other people outside there that are looking up to you?
Thank you. First of all, let me begin by telling the world that nobody was born with a low self-esteem. It's all adapted along the way. Maybe by the way of life or by your environment. Yeah, because at some point, people are born well. From the toddler's age to 5 years, when you're now crawling and walking about, you don't know anything about low or high self-esteem because you're a kid. But you know, there are some childhood experiences that may happen to somebody, and that they may really temper with their self-esteem onwards. You know, if your childhood is tempered, unasemanga samaki mkunje angali mchanga. Sometimes people go through experiences when they are children, and they really affect their life as they move on. Because you can't lower your self-esteem at puberty, like you said, like at 13 or 15. It all has to start when you're young. It's not something that you can tune at today I'm high. Yes, you can tune it maybe based on something that has happened recently, but the childhood experiences, those traumatic experiences, you know, maybe one day the family had a gathering, then you decided to say your point out at 7 years. and you are rebuked. You don't speak. You don't speak like that.
Yeah.
You're a lady. You know, sometimes if your parents don't give you a chance to show up who you are when you're a kid, it will really go along the way. You know, there are some parents who don't give their children space to
Yeah.
even express their talents. Yeah, so when you tell them, you know, your child can speak good in public, wacha tu nyamaze hivyo. Mostly it's the upbringing.
Yeah.
And for me, I can say at primary school, it's not that when I realized I have a healthy self-esteem, but I just realized that I can really come up and do things without fear, without judging myself, and I realized that I have that small self-worth. So mine began at primary school around class 5. You know, who wants to collect the papers for exams? Who wants to be a class prefect? Who will be sent this? You know, like who will appreciate the guest of honor during prayer day or primary? Unajituma tu, after all, you know, man, I gotta do this. Yeah. So at some point, it's the upbringing that really alters our self-esteem. Yeah. And hey, when it's altered to low, to bring it back to the actual level, that the healthy self-esteem can be hard, but there's no condition that is not capable, so it can happen. You can alter it and bring it back. Maybe by trying to engage in positive things, thinking positively, doing things that are like boost your self-esteem. Like, you know, you can boost your self-esteem by writing 5 positive things daily, you know, positive things, and consoling yourself. As a Christian, maybe you can say, maybe when you walk out there and you feel like you have a low self-esteem, scripture is we Christians, we know that we are created in the same image as God, right? So maybe if your self-esteem comes about when you are maybe you don't have a good look, or maybe you're too black for the world. You know? Yeah, maybe you're too yeah, so sometimes it's our maybe looks or maybe dressing, but when even the scripture says that we are all created in the image of God, so you should console yourself and also tell yourself that I can do all things through Christ. Yeah, because if it were men strengthening us and they are the ones who are determining your self-esteem, then we will all be with low self-esteem. Yeah, but when we know that our strength comes from above, our confidence comes from above, then what should we have to fear? When you tell me I look bad, unasema pia God anakaa vibaya basi, because he tells me that we are his handiwork, you know. Yeah. So that's it.
Well, I really love the explanation that you have given. So based on your explanation, we have seen that self-esteem, this is something that you kind of decided for yourself, but by how you realize yourself. And for you to have a healthy self-esteem, first of all, you need to believe in who you are. You need to accept yourself. You know, when you accept yourself the way you are going to be profound, and you're going to be more open in this world. But the moment you are not ready to accept the person that you are, then it will be very difficult for you as an individual to be able to step out there and maybe express yourself emotionally and any other way. So there is a book that I read, and it said, no, it's actually not a book, but it was a principle from my high school. You know, when people are at that age, they really find a lot of things that are pushing them behind, things that are dragging their self-esteem behind, because utaenda shule upate there is a girl who dresses nicely, or there is a boy who does things, is very confident, you get. So this is where the self-esteem of an individual starts going down. And then this principle says that if there is something that you can change, then change it. If that thing is unchangeable, then don't waste your time on trying to change it. Because if it cannot change, because if you cannot change the way your legs look, then stop concentrating on how they are. If you cannot change the way your hair grows, then stop concentrating on how it is. Focus on the things that you can change. Focus on the brighter side. And there is another person that said, if you have a weakness, don't use that weakness to bring yourself down. Use that weakness to uplift yourself. Even you can, there is another you know, my dad was giving me a story actually, and I've remembered it right now. You know, that time we were saying that when they were in school, when someone would let's say akuje kwako make fun of you, so instead of you feeling bad, you'll make a joke from that thing of that person kenye amesema, unaona. So yeye hataona like umesikia vibaya, in fact atakuwa confused like nimekwambia kitu mbaya and you have reacted oppositely to how I thought you would react.
Masking.
Yeah, it's called masking. Wow, and I love it. And I was like, yeah, you don't need to focus on what is bringing you down. You don't need to focus on what will the world say. You don't need to focus on how will people perceive me or how are people taking me. You need to take yourself as if you're the only person that is in this world. The decisions you're making, it is according to you. Respect your opinions, respect the person that you are and the person that you're becoming, because I believe that we are evolving, right?
Very right.
Yeah. Okay. How has social media affected self-esteem of the youth today, and to where we are right now? Has social media altered the way the youth are reacting on the basis of self-esteem?
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. Social media at large, you know, there's the positive aspect of social media and there's that negative aspect of social media.
Yeah.
And based on social media, let me call it it has really tempered with most youth's self-esteem. And at some point, it has led to things like depression. You know, when you perceive yourself to have a low self-esteem, first of all, you regard yourself low, you regard yourself worthless. You know, you're not putting self-worth, you're not valuing yourself. And social media, let me based on the TikToks and stuff, you might find that these celebrities, most of these celebrities, what they put to social media is not what actually they live. You get? Now you'll find a youth like me, a Gen Z, who wants to live up to the standard of somebody they saw in that social media.
Yeah.
And that's where we all go wrong. That's where it all begins. Now, you know, they are there because they made it there.
Yeah.
You get?
And sometimes they are not even yet there,
True.
but they seem to be there.
They seem to be there. What we see is not actually what it all is. That's what we should understand as youths of the generation Z. And you find yourselves trying to match the standards of those people. But, you know, when it all begins with self-acceptance, I repeat, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-worth, all begins with self-acceptance. If you accept, yes, I know I am saving, I know that I can't afford that car right now, but I'm working to afford it. Why should I stress myself to get there? Yet it's, you know, everything has its own time. You know, in Ecclesiastes we are told there's a time for everything. Like, why should you stress? As a Gen Z, I believe social media has really laid a great impact to the self-esteem or the self-confidence of our youth in this generation. And it's somehow, a little bit of it is positive, but a little bit of it, a big part of it is negative. Yeah. So what we should realize as people who are growing up is that we should accept ourselves the way we are, because it's not that we are getting to the end of our lives. We still have more to achieve that. So by trying to match the standards of people we see online or trying to adapt their lifestyles, that's where we are changing it all.
Yeah.
You know, when we can't fit there, we first of all our self-confidence will go down, because man, I tried, now look at me, I'm not even looking like her.
And I've also seen there are other people, the influencers. You find that on the social media they have a lot of things, but behind the scenes they have nothing. And then when people come to realize that nikijichocha tu hawananga kitu, their self-esteem
Because, because sometimes you find yourself, when your self-esteem goes down, the first thing that will come into your brain is, I don't want to ever try again.
Yeah.
Let me now be quiet, you know, let me just live my life.
Isolate myself now
And
from
when you
everyone.
isolate yourself, now it leads to depression. Depression, stress. stress, chronic stress, mental health issues. You get?
Yeah.
So as much as we are trying to get adept with the social media, let's see them. You know, wanasemanga vyote vya nini usione
Ukiona
ukiona vielea
jua
jua
vimeundwa.
vimeundwa. You get? Like, just know that those things, some of them are not real, some of them are, all that glitters is not gold. Because sometimes they can show us things that are not really that. You get? But when you recognize yourself, you know me personally, I know myself, I know my limits,
Yeah.
I know what my family can afford.
Yeah.
Because we find ourselves, as we try to match that, the energy of those people in the social media, we tend to strain our folks, if our parents. We strain them, we tell them, Mom, I need now 10,000 for this and this, and that 10,000 imetokea wapi? Kumbe you just want to go buy that dress that looks the same, or maybe that for men, that singlet, or maybe that trouser that looked like the one Drake wore. You know, it's sometimes we go out of our hand, but when we realize ourselves, when we accept ourselves the way we are, self-realization, self-acceptance, all done. You won't stress, you won't go to depression because you can't afford a certain Bugatti. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, for my viewers, I hope you're taking notes. Like, don't live up to what you want people to see. Live according to your standards.
To what you can get.
Yes, live according to what you can get to. If you don't have it right now, then don't force it, because the Bible says that when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. So don't rush. Make sure you take your time. What role do you think a family should play in the self-esteem of their child or any other family member? What role should the family play on the self-esteem of its members?
Yeah. Okay. When you say what role should a family play, a family, a nuclear family, or an extended family, or just a family?
Just a family.
Okay. So, first of all, for the self-esteem part, a family should be supporting. You see, first of all, let me tell myself I'm a child in a family of three. My mom, my dad, my sister, and I. You get? Now, I am a person who is learning music. Now I'm growing in my, I realize myself I have a talent, and I really try to sing. So one time I have a platform, I get to perform, and I believe that I can do it, I can sing, but the family doesn't support me. Wanasema tangu lini ukaanza kuimba? Uko sure unaweza imba? So the key essential thing that a family can do is support. You see that support, not if, it can't be even financially, but just the moral support that they give you will really raise your self-esteem to a place that is so admirable. And also, apart from support, a family should create space for children to express themselves. Give the children platform. Let them know that it's right to give your opinion. It's not that when you give your opinion you are chased away, or when you give your opinion it's not right. Even if as much as we might give opinions that are not right, let them take them, and later on not tell us it's not right, but maybe rebuke it in a maybe softer way and tell us this is how it's supposed to be done. Correct. But the aspect of shutting out opinions, shutting out expressions, shutting out everything for a child, as a family, it really affects their self-esteem and really makes things worse. Yes.
And there is this one student that I interacted with some times back, and they told me that they wanted to do, let me just give an example. I want to do things to do with journalism and maybe things to do with communication, but my parents are like, I want you to be a doctor. So when this child decides to do journalism and communication, the parents are like, I'm not going to pay school fees, I'm not going to do that. It's either you do what I want, or I'm not going to pay your school fees. So according to you, should parents be the one to choose the life for their children, or should they allow their children to make the steps for themselves?
Okay. On that question, It's a
And do you
tricky
think
one.
parents are always right when they choose for their children?
Okay, thank you so much. On that side, because I'm not a parent yet, I'll speak as a child now. So, I believe parents are to make choices for their children, but not all choices. There are some choices that you as a person have to make when you get a certain age. Because if you tell me that parents should not always make choices for their children, we mean that even a child who is 10 years old, the parents should make choices for them. Because parents are the one who, like, they are the one, they are our, you know, the Nigeria was told that after God, you know, they are our second gods. They are the ones who like control, finance everything that we do. So, on making decisions, maybe when you're an adult, maybe at 18, there are some decisions, now it's slashed to 70 that a parent can make a decision for you in some areas, but in some areas they have just to understand, dear millennials, just have to understand that I'm growing, you know, my mind is going up and up, it's expanding, I'm getting diverse, and also there's this it's called the online, the social media revolution. The you know, the social media that was there during the time is not the one that is here.
Yeah.
Technology is being advanced. So at some point they might think that the course they want to, like, for example, they want you to really get medicine. You get? They believe that doctors and lawyers are the ones who really get the best out of this life. But you're growing up, you know, technologically the world has advanced. When you want to go take that journalism, I know, I have researched and I know that this one will really make me to get where they want me to get as a doctor, you get? So on terms of decision making, we shouldn't like really lock them out and make all the decisions for ourselves.
Yeah.
And also, we shouldn't make all the decisions for ourselves and like consider ourselves our decisions final. Yes, we have to go to our parents for consultation, and when they make decisions, I believe in taking those decisions. Sit with them down, give them your opinion, let them tell you why they think it's right. They are giving you that decision, then you all agree on a common thing. Because if they force something on you at the end, it will turn out catastrophic. You know, maybe utakuja shule, then you find yourself not even really fitting in and stuff. Yeah, and also about how if all the decisions we make are right, I can't answer that. I believe, let me try and answer it. There's this quote that says that our parents are always yes, they might be always right, but there's some aspect of wrong in that right. You know, there's a decision your parent can make that seems right to them, but when you feel it, like you actually feel this one, because we should get to the fact that we are living in two different generations.
Yeah.
We have the millennials who are our parents, and then the Gen Zs. You know, this argument is an argument that has gone, you know, Gen Z is not understanding millennials don't understanding Gen Zs, and it gets out of hand. So, if there's dialogue in all these, I believe easy understandings will be like less or maybe limited at some point, because dialogue is where you get to know what are you thinking, what am I thinking, now let's agree on this. Yeah, but not all the decisions that our parents make are right. That one I can say that, because sometimes they think that taking your phone away from you is the right decision, very right decision. But you know, without this phone, you won't research, you won't get to know what the world is saying, you won't get informed. You'll find yourself now being a millennial Gen Z. You're living in, you know, you are living in times without technology. So yeah, that's what I can give as a response.
Wow. That is very, very, very enlightening. So the environment that parents create for their children affects the way they will react to life, right?
True. That environment at when the child is growing.
Yes. It will really affect. So as a family, people need to guide each other to to communicate, because I believe communication is everything.
True.
If we are able to communicate, then if we are able to communicate, then that means we are going to understand each other's everyone's thoughts, and we are going to table them the way I've just said, and get a solution for maybe the questions that we have and the problems that each and everyone is facing, right?
True.
So there is someone out there that is facing low self-esteem. They feel within themselves that I know I can inside me, but I don't know how I am going to let it out. Because as you can also see, the Bible says that the person that is in you is much greater than the person that is in the world, right? So you might be feeling that inside me, I know I can really do this thing. I want to be like that person. I want to be like that person. Maybe I don't have the cash. Maybe I don't have people that are supportive. You know, there are some other people, like the conditions that they are in right now, they are low self-esteem because they lacked moral support from the beginning, or they lacked finances, and to them, they view finances to be the solution to everything. So how can you advise someone out there that is facing low self-esteem and give him or her the ways that he or she is going to build their self-esteem? Because I believe there are many of them, and it's affecting a lot of youth right now. Yeah.
Thank you for that question. That person is struggling with fixing their self-esteem.
Yes. There is a person struggling with their self-esteem. They feel within themselves that they can really do it, but when they look at the world, they feel like they don't have the strength to do it. They feel like they don't have the power. Like every kind of mouth that is speaking to them is speaking negative. So they're asking themselves, how am I going to build my self-esteem? How will I start this journey to grow myself, to become that person that I want to become, to believe in my purpose? So how are you going to advise them?
Instead of advising them, advices are taken. You just advise the person close to them, hold their hand.
Hold their hand.
And also, as a Christian, I will tell them that the scripture tells us that for God did not give us a spirit of timidity, but of power, love, and
soundness of mind.
and soundness of mind. So, if you really know that God gave me that spirit, and I am created in His own image, then you should now get to know. You should. We are told that we should live as citizens of heaven. Not we are passers-by. You get?
Yeah.
So if you know that fact and you really know that in all I do, all my strength comes from Him, then automatically your self-esteem will get back to its normal state. But there are other things that can help, like hold this person's hand and really help them get back to their healthy self-esteem. First of all is accepting them to the society. It's accepting them to the society, and also making them feel like what they do is good or it's right. You get? Because somebody who has a low self-esteem really needs that assurance that what I'm doing is right, it's not wrong. Because in them they feel that what they're doing is wrong. In them they feel that I'm not fit for this, I'm not able. Like, if it's leadership, kuna watu wanaweza lead with the ninja. If it's speaking, there are more people who can speak out there. They don't believe in themselves. And how can you make them believe in themselves? By showing them that what they are doing is right. Telling them that, yes, you've said, how are you, gentlemen, in this, and you sat down. That is right. Say another thing. How was your evening? Accept them. Show them that what they are doing is right. Now get patience to understand, and now let's walk with them through that walk of healing. Everything is a step.
Yeah.
Raising it step by step. Today they'll come, find an audience, greet them. That small greeting, appreciate them, show them that it was right. You get?
Yeah.
Now when they have fear in speaking to maybe an audience, get them. Introduce them, tell them your name, and tell them one thing about how life is. They say that let the crowd appreciate that person. You know, they will feel like yes, I'm not that badly off. I'm getting somewhere. I'm now getting, and it all changes with the mentality. Now the mentality will turn from low self-esteem to, and you know, all things are psychological. So when your brain really shuts and tells you that you are fixed to have a low self-esteem, you are, yeah, you can't make, then you can't. But altering what the mind thinks about yourself. You know, we say that this is how you perceive yourself, not what other people perceive about you. Yeah. So when your mind shifts and tells you and assures you that I am the best version of me, or if not, I am getting to that best version of me. I am me, I know what I do is right. You get? And it can't be criticized. Of course there are criticisms, but it's not bad it's not bad to speak. Don't start with the mind. Now you will have changed that person's thinking. They won't think that I'm too low for this, I'm too shy to do this, or I'm too weak to do this. They'll now think, I can try. And that's a progress. After thinking of trying, what's the next step? Do it. And you find themselves now having a raised self-esteem and really, really being the, you know, when you have a healthy self-esteem, you do things not really perfect, but you do things well, like you do things with a tick, just not tick. Like you try to do things that are to standard, not below standard. Yeah.
Well, really, what will I say?
What do you want to say? What are you thinking?
I'm really impressed by the way you have brought out that issue that we were discussing, and to our viewers there, I want to remind you from everything that we have spoken about self-esteem. One thing you should understand, for you to build your own self-esteem, it has to start by you. First of all, accept who you are. Love yourself as you are. Do not wait and listen to what other people are going to talk about you or say about you for you to perceive who you are. Because we are all built differently, with different abilities, different capabilities. So it's upon you to realize, what am I good at? What can I do perfectly? And work on that thing. If there is something that you don't have the power to do it, then leave it, because you'll only waste your time. We have a beautiful life to live, so live your life to the fullest, believing in yourself, putting God first in all your matters, and engaging yourself with the right kind of people and the right kind of environment. And if someone is speaking negative to you, then just hold your ears and pretend like you have not heard anything, because don't let those words that they have spoken negatively impact that person that is inside of you. Take your life like a race. When you're in a race, there are people that are supporting you, there are other people that are not supporting you. Listen to the voice that is supporting you, listen to the voice that is uplifting you, and don't listen to the voice that is not uplifting you, kwa sababu when people are in a race kuna watu watakuwa wanakubuu, si ndio? Boo, wanataka mtu wake awi, si ndio?
True, and also you might change everything about what people do, what people maybe bring to the table, but you won't change somebody's opinion towards you. So just focus. Don't let anybody's opinion define you. We are defined by what we do, by who we are. Because if you let somebody's opinion define you, then it really tempers with your self-esteem. And also, we have 3 C's of self-esteem. We have competence, we have character, and we have confidence. All these 3, when you have self-confidence, good character, and competence in what you do, you really bring your self-esteem to a place that is admirable. So whatever the world says, whatever people say and what people say, we can't change it. Let's accept that. But what we can change is how we think about ourselves. Let's now think highly. If not highly, then think good things about us. And turn a blind ear, it's a deaf ear or a blind ear. Turn a deaf ear to those criticisms and stuff, and work on making ourselves a better version of ourselves.
There is another speaker that I had, and she said that every time you wake up in the morning, speak good things upon yourself. Tell yourself, I am beautiful. Tell yourself, I am capable. Tell yourself, I am blessed. Every nice word you can talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. When you look at yourself in the mirror, look at a person that is blessed. Look at a person that is confident. And that is where you will start growing the person that is in you. And that is where you start growing yourself gradually. But at the end of the day, you'll get to where you want to go. So as we are going to finish up this, I want to thank all of you for viewing, and for the people that are going to watch this. May you build your self-esteem, and may you believe in yourself, and may you be that person that you want to become, and let God do the rest. Don't pressure yourself. So Cedric, I'm just gonna ask you some, it's just like a game, and you're gonna tell me Bible chapters. I'm gonna give you a letter, then you tell me the chapter that starts with that letter. So letter M.
The Bible books.
Yeah, the Bible book.
Yeah. Mark.
M.
Mark.
J. E.
Ephesians.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for the time that you have watched us. God bless you and God increase you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.